that we can do for this time. Okay, so just a little bit introduction about myself. My name is Lisa. I'm the Education Marketing Manager here at QERA Education Group. So what is written here is actually really what I believe in. And I have been in the education industry since 2012. I have been recruiting students to higher education, to schools. I've dealt with a lot of international and private schools, seen struggles that these schools are facing throughout the time from 2012 until today. So today I'm going to share with you what is it that is in this sector that we can see as a challenge, and also what kind of solution can we have to overcome all these challenges. So before we start, let's have an overview of how this sector has been. Over the years, in the past 1 decade, actually, there's tremendous growth in the number of international or private schools. It's definitely something that people want, better education. That's why you can see international and private schools growing. Since especially 5 years ago, the growth has been really, really fast. This is actually because people start to understand what is the difference between going to good schools and going to schools that, you know, very traditional. It's not saying that schools like international or private is better. It's not really, but it's very different because people start to understand international and private schools offer holistic education. And this is what increasingly throughout the years people are looking for. Therefore, people are willing to pay a fee to get into schools that can provide holistic education for their children. But we can see the growth, it was really great. And when 2020 arrived, early of the year, things seemed still quite good. Actually, everybody was expecting a great year ahead. But unfortunately, by the end of first quarter, we can start to see that things aren't going very well. And by the end of 2020, a lot of schools, especially those smaller or newer in the market, they actually downsize, or maybe they close. Why? Because it's very difficult to sustain. There are too many challenges. It's just too different, year 2020 and before. So that's why we can see the number of students getting into international or private schools since year 2020 is a little bit challenging to recruit. So these are the key challenges that all international schools and private schools are facing today. So because throughout the years, throughout the past 1 decade, there are a lot of international schools that open up because of the increasing demand. Therefore, obviously, there's competition. With or without COVID-19, the competition is there. And of course, now with COVID-19, competition gets even greater. Why? It's not because that there are more schools that are open up. It's because affordability would be something that people will relook into. People will want something that can sustain. People are more aware of like the situation, and they're more, they want to spend the money more worthwhile, I'd put it that way. So a lot of them actually decide between putting into public schools instead of putting in their children into private or international schools. And then another one is that because everybody can't actually go to school physically, e-learning is something new to everybody. in the sector. Maybe even last year, maybe early last year in January, I presume many parents or teachers, you can never have imagined that the entire class for the entire month, or until now almost 1 year, goes online. You could never have imagined, especially younger children, younger students, they can actually sit in one place, look at the computers, and really focus on what the teachers are teaching. So that is something that no one ever really thought it would happen, but it did happen, and at a very, very fast pace. So because of COVID-19, there were no choice. Education cannot be delayed for the children because time is running and we're not going to get it back. And as of today, we all know this pandemic is not going to be over next month or 2-3 months later. We are looking at probably 2 to 3 years before everything becomes normal again. So we cannot delay education for children for such a long time. So e-learning is something that must be a part of teaching, school teaching now. So the experience that students get, is it the same? How can you differentiate yourself with public schools? Previously, when there's physical classes, you can differentiate yourself by teaching holistic education. You have like swimming classes, sports, you have music classes, you have a lot of things physically where you win over public schools. They don't really have that. And also the usage of technology using a smart board, whereas public school, not many of them are using. So these are the kind of things that was once your advantage. But today everybody goes online, even public schools. And so public schools, government are actually trying to push everything to the digital world. So they actually put up a budget to make children have good platform, digitize everything, and by the vision, especially in Malaysia, by 2023, everything should be digitalized. So now your competition doesn't only come from other private or international schools. Your competition comes also from public schools, which is much, much more affordable. So quality of learning is something that is now perhaps could be on par. And the third one is lack of inquiries online. Before the pandemic, people can still come to campus. People can go around, people come for a visit. There are school fairs, you can go for exhibition. There are many ways traditionally you make yourself aware in the public. Awareness is in the public. But now you have to wait for inquiries online. When you're sitting in the comfort of your home, what you have is the screen of your laptop perhaps, or your tablet, or your mobile phone. And all this, you need to wait for inquiries to come in. But how can you reach out to the people on the other end of these devices? If you don't do it right, obviously you're not going to reach out to them. Nobody will know you're there. Or maybe you have a presence, actually, you are maybe one of the top schools, or you are one of the more well-known international or private schools in the area. But when people stay home too long, or people don't come into contact with you too long, people will forget. It's not that they really don't know you, but they just never thought of you because they never come across you again. And then you try to do some marketing. Then again, marketing could be a little bit expensive. In some cases, very, very expensive. So you will face another challenge, whereas the marketing budget is insufficient. So these four are the key challenges that a lot of international and private schools are facing when recruiting students. So today I'm going to talk about the solutions. What can we do to overcome all these challenges? To be very competitive, to be at the advantage, to be perceived as better as your competitors, you need to have your own strength. You need people to know what is it that you offer that's better than others. Highlight the programs that makes you different from your competition. Programs doesn't mean only academic program. You could be teaching IGCSE, you could be teaching A levels. Other schools will also be teaching IGCSE, A levels. It's the same. You could be teaching from a board called CIE or Edexcel, and another school they'll do the same. You can't change that because those are the boards that govern the qualification. And A levels and IGCSE are qualifications that again you can't really change because that is governed by the board. And this is what is needed for students to move further. But you could actually have programs like not like that are more holistic learning that you're saying, perhaps like you do more understanding. Maybe the way of teaching is a little bit different, where you don't bring your class only in the classroom, you bring them out of the classroom. Earlier, we are talking about physical classroom, but now it could be doing something different. Everybody is at home, right? So it's distance learning for everybody. So what can you do to separate yourself from your competition? You need to find out. Maybe is that the relationship maybe that you have between your teachers and the students? The kind of support that you're giving, is that what you are good at? But you need to really show how are you different from your competition, because they can claim the same thing. And then you need to also develop talent pipelines. You have a lot of students in your schools. So get to know a little bit of them, get your teachers to really see who are the people who are talented. Some students are talented in, say, playing musical instruments, some dancing, some swimming, some even they're good at public speaking. So there are a lot of things that students can really do. Some like very good artists. Bring them to competitions, develop their talents, use them as an ambassador for your schools. And of course, develop them in pipeline, and when they come out, keep in touch with them. And when, as an alumni, they love your school, they can also help to market your schools for you. And then throughout the years, from my experience in education, I receive this a lot. Parents don't have enough confidence in international and private schools. Why? Because a lot of times, especially international schools, we have teachers that come and go. They're expatriates. They come here for 2 years, they teach, their visa expires, and then when the student actually need to move on to this crucial year like IGCSE, let's say, the teacher move on to another country because the visa expires and they have no intention of renewing the visa, therefore they're not staying. So in this case, parents get a little bit uncomfortable because they feel like maybe the past 2-3 years, this teacher has journeyed with the students, but then suddenly during the very important year, the teacher left and then substitute with another teacher with a different mindset, with a different teaching, and suddenly the student need to take in a lot more. That's something different. Well, in my opinion, it's not that this is not something not good, because students need to learn how they can adapt to different teaching, to understand different things. But we need to create confidence that your school is actually offering the best. So at least the key people, like for example, the counselors, principals, you could stay on a little bit longer. You could create this confidence in parents by engaging parents together with the students, not just getting the students to school every day and then parents will just get to know what is going on in the school through the students. When you engage parents in activities, especially now everything goes online, you're teaching, get the parents together, do some maybe like weekend activities, so students can concentrate a little better. You have a bond, build the relationship, build the confidence in parents. This would actually make you stand out among your competitors. And another thing is accessibility to campus and stuff. So when the campus is open, running physically, people can go there, people can visit anytime, people can reach out to staff because when they walk in, there'll be somebody on duty. But now when the campus is closed, how do parents reach out? Parents can call the school line, but nobody's at school. So who is going to pick up? Parents can actually go onto the website, look into more information, but there is no feel of the campus, especially those people who has never seen the campus before or staying elsewhere who wants to send the students over. So how do they get this accessibility? Schools need to work on this. Get a staff who is on duty, divert the calls to mobile, do whatever we can to make parents feel even in this time of pandemic, the schools is actually still accessible. And then another thing is public relations and community outreach. This is actually very important. This is how you spread your brand name to many people in the community. Doing a community outreach, you're actually doing something that is good for the society to start with, and then also, again, it is something that really helps people to perceive your school as really a place where you will train up students to create impact to the world, doing something different other than just academic. Go there, study, and get a certificate, graduate so that they can move on to universities. They are doing much more than that by doing community outreach. So these are the things that you could actually do to make yourself, to highlight yourself among your competitors, to stand out actually. And then because of the pandemic, everybody has to go on to e-learning. So the e-learning experience, the quality of the e-learning, it must be significantly different from public schools. It must be still good for students. Students are still progressing. For 2020, students' results actually suffered a lot. They, compared to previous years, results were actually not as great. Why? Because everybody went on to e-learning. A lot of students couldn't really quite catch and follow the classes. Therefore, they lose out the time where they kind of don't really know how they should study. They lost the experience, they don't have their friends to study together. So something that they need to adapt, but yet again, maybe they don't get enough support and the results actually suffer. So now, as international and private schools, you have the tools, you have the software, use them and teach the children properly. Students need to learn, but they need to be taught how they can learn differently online, even though they're not in school physically. Attention span will greatly decrease when a student stay in front of the computer the entire day. Why? Because they are kind of alone, the friends are not with them. They have their family, yes, the parents maybe are there, but it's not the same. When they go to school physically, they have people who support them. So in between classes, they see their friends, they talk to their friends, they have fun, they regenerate, they come back to the second class. But now it's different. One class, they need to really focus, and then there's nothing much happening in between the classes. The next class, can they really still focus? So the attention span will greatly decrease in your classes. Therefore, it is very important to make it as interesting and engaging as possible. So students' minds are stimulated. And also, a lot of schools are actually only doing synchronous online learning, which means that when the class is going on, there will be interaction between the teachers and the students. Materials are given, exchanged. But what happens after that? There is not much engagement. Maybe students may need help, support. Maybe they don't quite understand what was going on because online learning is also something new to them. So they're actually learning two things, whatever you're teaching in class and also whatever online learning is offering them, both. So need to be a little bit more patient, and also we need to offer more support. Therefore, asynchronous online learning is very important as well. What does it mean? It means that the support that you're giving after class. How can they get the materials? How can they reach out to the teachers? How can they get support from their friends? How can they actually do a discussion group with their friends? All these things are called asynchronous online learning. Can they do it? Need to offer a tool that make it possible for them to do it. Encourage them to do it as well. So both synchronous and asynchronous online learning are very, very important. They must actually go on together side by side. And you need to show the value that you are giving throughout the pandemic, because you are not going to reduce the course fees that you're charging the students, because you need to pay for the physical class that you're having, the physical school that you're running. There's still maintenance cost. So you need to pay for them. You're not going to reduce the course fees so much, even if you do. So you need to offer the value that makes parents feel that it's worthwhile paying. Develop new skills in the process of this online learning. All teachers are learning how to do this together. Schools are learning, but children are learning, students are learning. Also, everybody is in the learning process. But we still need to find a way to really develop new skills for the students in the process of this, which will lead to lifelong learning. For example, online learning itself is an advantage in terms of training students to be independent in terms of learning. They can go, now it's the digital era, they can go online to search for things, they can try to read things online, so everything can be online, but they need to learn how to use the tools that they have. So they don't have their friends, how can they talk, like do a discussion? How can they actually find information without relying on teachers, friends? So this is one of the example of the new skills that can be developed. Why do I highlight here leading to lifelong learning? This is something valuable, and it's something seen by the parents as essential, because obviously everybody will want their children to come out to the society later on and not just survive, but thrive. So lifelong learning is something that will help them in the future. And also, during physical teaching, the school hours, you go to the school in the morning, by afternoon you go back home. Everybody is tired, they go back and rest. But when it comes to e-learning, everybody is home. They look at the screen for a long period of time. It gets tired, their eyes feel tired, and it's not really as convenient in terms of accessing teaching materials. They want some rest in between. They are actually quite burnt out, but they can't. So why not offer a flexible time for learning? Say, for example, especially for younger children, students who still rely on their parents to be by their side when they are in class. So flexible time over here is, for example, maybe get students, instead of early in the morning go for a class, it could perhaps space out the classes even till night. Like if the students are comfortable, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night, because parents are they're not working, so they have slightly more time to sit by the side to help them in terms of using the learning platform and be there with them, then why not let's do it that time. So this is the advantage that you can give for students using this e-learning. And how can we tackle the problem of lack of inquiries online? Well, here this is the list of what people will usually go for. This is the human behavior of today because everything is so convenient. But word of mouth is still the #1 way of getting your brand awareness out. This is since forever. It has been very good. So because why? People will actually trust people who they know. So for example, if you know me in person, you will tend to really trust me more. But if, let's say, someone else, maybe halfway across the globe, you don't know that person, if he tells you something, would you actually believe him or believe me? Definitely you will trust me a little bit more. Why? Because you know me. So this is the power of word of mouth. People tend to know the person and they will listen to them and they will actually believe in them a little bit more. So this word of mouth is actually a very powerful tool in marketing. And once they get to know your brand name, they will go online, they'll search for reviews on your school. So when they search for reviews on your school, they can't find it. It's very, very frustrating. And they start to think, is this really legit? But when they search for reviews and they can see very good reviews on your school, they will go to your website. They want to confirm whether the reviews are good. So you need to build a very good website. It needs to be interesting and it needs to have enough information for people to feel that this is a real school. And then after that, they'll just go and pick through your social media. And they really want to attend a campus tour and recruitment presentation. So now you can't really bring them for campus tour physically, but you can always bring them for campus tour online. You know, there are like, you can integrate Google Map. Google Map has the view where you can walk around the campus. You can actually integrate that as well. Or take a video of your campus, around your campus, show people. So this is kind of the closest to a campus tour. Recruitment presentation is meant for them to know more about your campus, know more about your schools, so that they understand what is the value that your school brings. They understand how teaching is conducted. And then after that, people like to browse through brochure. Why do people do all this? A lot of work, yes, but people want to know more. The more people understand, the more people know about you, the more information they get more comfortable and they trust in you a little bit more. So this is how people behave. But to actually do all this, you will need to do some kind of marketing. So then you will find that maybe you have insufficient marketing budgets. The pandemic has actually affected many people. Before the pandemic, maybe you don't quite have that kind of big budget to simply spend to just blast out everything for everybody to know. What more, during the pandemic, when a lot of things are affected, economy is not so great around the world, marketing budget would be cut for most, if not all, schools. So how can we use this budget wisely to still attract people that we want to come here? So we need to start with brand awareness to targeted group of people, people whom you think would be relevant that will actually come to your schools, like parents and also the potential students. Targeted group, which means you do not go out and also target irrelevant people. So for example, if you are doing a billboard, traditionally a billboard is just mass targeting. It targets people of different background, different walk of life, coming from different places, whoever that just passed by. It's not a very targeted marketing. It's not a very targeted brand awareness. You just want everybody to know, regardless of whether they have children or they don't, regardless of whether they want to study or not. So now we need to be wiser. We need to do a little bit more advertising that's a little bit more targeted. Then, what else can we do if we want to target people by group? If we don't do traditional marketing, if we don't have big budget for mass digital marketing, we can actually look into affiliate marketing, where this is a strategy where you can reach out to more people using a lower cost. It's a much lower marketing cost as compared to any other type of marketing. So the main thing that we need to look at now today is really to increase the return on investment. If we have a high ROI per student, then we are making more profits. Therefore, we can use this profit for a lot more things, and we can generate more students with this because we can actually do more marketing. So everything goes in a cycle. And so these are the 4 key challenges that schools are facing today. And of all the solutions that I have given you, number 1 and number 2, competition e-learning experience is something that really need you to work out on, that really need your teachers and schools to design a way to really go towards that direction where you stand out from your competition and you make parents and students feel that they get quality e-learning experience. Now, number 3 and number 4 could be a little bit more challenging. Maybe you don't even know where to start. How? Although I have given you the solution, but it's not really very easy. If I say word of mouth, everybody knows word of mouth is good, but how do I get the word out so that it can go out as word of mouth, right? So not to worry, because number 3 and number 4, I have a solution for you. It's very simple and it's not going to cost you a lot. Use a digital education hub such as QERA. So what does a digital education hub means? It means a place where all the course providers, inclusive schools, are listed on this platform, and the students would be able to come through the platform, look for courses that they want, study them a little bit, and then enroll into your course. Now, if let's say this is a digital education hub, yes, everybody is inside, but how do students know where to find the schools, the course providers? Like, how do the students know that they can actually come to QERA? Right. So that's why we have a third group of people who are actually the affiliates. The affiliate marketing that we were talking about earlier, we call them at QERA members. So what exactly is a digital education hub? It's actually an app that you can download from Google Play Store, Apple App Store, or Huawei App Gallery. Anywhere on your phone, you can get it, just very simple. And everybody can have it on their palm anytime. So what do our affiliates do? How does affiliate marketing work? So actually affiliates affiliate marketing, it works in such a way where we will have these members, they will actually help you to spread your brand name across everywhere. So right now for QERA, we are around Southeast Asia, targeting student recruitment in Southeast Asia. What our affiliates do is to help you find students to enroll into your schools if you list on our platform. Very, very simple. If let's say you are a school and you list on our platform, we do not charge anything for listing on our platform. But of course, like I mentioned earlier, people like to read brochures. But now we all know that even before pandemic, to print a brochure to a good one, it costs probably around Malaysian ringgit. It could cost up to 25 ringgit per brochure. How many brochures can you print? Now, save more trees, save your budgets, put your brochures onto our app by just updating your information on our portal. So people come into the app, they can actually read everything. It functions exactly like a brochure. And then when these are all up, you can have our affiliate members. We are targeting 100,000 members at the end of the year. This is how many affiliates that we will have by the end of the year. So by then, can you imagine how many students we can reach out to on behalf of you? And the best part is, you don't even have to manage them, because all this will be the responsibility of QERA. We will help to manage these affiliates that will act as your sales team for you. So then you want to ask me that if listing is free, and then, we manage the affiliates, then what is it that we want? We actually really want education to be really connected. Everybody have the opportunity to find an education that's suitable for them, because now we find that it is just too difficult for course providers to reach out to students, and for students to reach out to course providers to find the schools that they want to go. So this is what our vision is, to connect global education. But of course, there will be operations costs that will be running. And why would these affiliates want to help you promote your brand name and your courses and your schools? Because we have to take a percentage of commission from you, from every student that come across our portal to enroll into your schools. But it's just the same like any other agencies that you engage to get them to recruit students for you. It's just the same concept. But obviously with affiliate marketing, we reach out to more people. So a big percentage of this commission that we receive from you, it goes to our QERA members, which are the affiliates, which will act as your sales team for you. So this is actually a very simple application. It's a very simple way, but it actually helps you to really solve the problem, the challenges that you're facing. Half of the challenge that you're facing, we help you look into it. How does it really work? If you can see over here on the left, this is what it looks like on our app when someone comes in. So they can find all the course providers. They can search by categories they want to go to school. So they will search under the school and they can see. So if you are inside there, then this is your step number one of brand awareness. People come in regardless of where you are there. And if you can see on the second one, it's actually like a brochure. This is what you put in. So put your school name inside, put your school logo inside, put some pictures inside so people will know. And actually you can also upload, if you have a YouTube video, upload it on to the app. Once you upload it, you can upload your campus. So people will actually have a campus experience right from the app. People can see it, like you have open days, upload it, anything. So this is what will help you get nearer to students and also parents. And then, like I mentioned earlier, QERA members, number one, word of mouth. Two, this is for brochure. And they will actually come in to visit your course. So to come and visit your website, they can just simply click on the app and they will be directed to your website. And then if you can see below, there's actually a share button. They can even share it with their friends. So this is how convenient it is using this app. And that's how also we help you to tackle the two big challenges that you are facing right now. So why did we come up with this? We started from Gen Education Malaysia in 2006. So 2006 until today, 2021, it's been 15 years we are in this education industry. We know what we are doing. We have already gone through the recruitment for 15 years. We already seen the challenges of what schools are facing, course providers are facing, students are facing. We just want to connect everybody, bridge this gap for everybody. And you can see over here, this is our company milestone. We have empowered many people in the education and empowered the education sector. If you can see over here in 2015, that's actually our founder receiving the Education Empowerment Award by our ex-Prime Minister of Malaysia. And through all this hard work that we work on, through the different empowerment that we have done, in 2020, when pandemic hit, we know that we need to do something. So we launched the QERA app. November 2020 was when QERA app was launched. But look at how fast it is growing. It was launched actually in the second quarter of 2020 as a testing version. And then by the third quarter of 2020, we have already over 300 new course providers on our app. And early this year, we have launched it to Indonesia, Singapore, Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand. See how fast this app is growing. We are now only in June. It's just a few months time. It's probably around like a little more than half a year. And we have already grown to so many countries. This is what is needed in the world today. Everything is digital. So that's why we are growing, and we will not stop growing. We will move into China in later this year. By the end of 2021, we will get into China as well. So we are constantly growing, and our vision is to be the #1 education hub for everybody around the world. So for now, we start with Southeast Asia, and we are still #1 in Southeast Asia. And so this is our founder, Dr. Joseph. He is our visionary, and he is the one that make QERA app possible. So of course, it's not just him alone working on this. He's supported by a lot of us here, and this is our core management team, supported by also our regional managers. So this is how we make things possible. If you can see here, we have already expanded to several countries in Southeast Asia, and we are not going to stop there. Until today, we have already more than 500 partner universities, colleges, learning centers around the world. So this is where we are right now, and we will only continue to grow. We will not stop here. So we are here to help you. Get in touch with us if you want to list your schools with us. We will not take a fee for listing. We will help you. We will still do promotional things once in a while for you. And when we promote, we will constantly do promotion for our app. And when we promote our app, you are in our app, you are promoted together with us. But if you are not, then of course during the promotion period that we promote and people come in, people don't see you. So that's not so great. So whoever that, is on the app will be seen. So yeah, so this is actually where we are right now, and we are already number one in Southeast Asia. We will continue to grow. Any questions? I can take any questions from anybody. If you are shy, please put it in the chat. And if, let's say, you want to visit our website, this is our website here, and there are some frequently asked questions. If you would like to find out also. Well, if there's no question, I hope it's actually my presentation is clear. It's not that nobody understand what I said. So maybe if you guys can tell me, maybe put in the chat if it's clear, you have no question, then maybe put a clear like in the chat so I know that you know what I was talking about earlier. Okay, great. Seems like it's clear. So yeah, but maybe sometimes during my, it is a lot, maybe something new to you. You can't think of any question now, doesn't matter. You want to find out more, can just come to our website, QERA app. QERA.app is our website. Or send me an email. My email is here. Or send me a WhatsApp, can give me a call, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, just get in touch. If you have any question, get in touch. To list your courses, to list your schools with us, it's not difficult. We are an edtech platform, so everything is digitized. What we need from you is just several information, which means that you just need to fill out a very simple form for us. And we can create an account on our portal for you so that you can key in details that will show up on the app. So for us, it's really very simple. But whatever, if let's say you need on your side, we can see how we can get it done for you. For example, an agreement. So that is not an issue at all. So get in touch to find out more information. We can also set a separate session for you if you like. Just get in touch with me, and then you want to know more, just tell me you want to know more, and we can have a separate session. Then we can explain a lot more. Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining me this afternoon. Thank you for all your time. So yeah, if there is not, yes, if you have any question, yeah, I can see in the chat, please click. Thanks, Randy. Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining me this afternoon. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will stay on a little bit more in case anybody has any more questions. But you can start leaving if you like, and get in touch with me separately if you wish to. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Thanks, Lee. Okay, great. If let's say there is no more question, then really thank you very much for joining me this Saturday afternoon. Have a very, very good weekend, everybody. See you again. Bye.